Thanks for taking a few minutes to learn more about the Winter Park Competition Center concussion protocol and why we have it in place. Concussions are an unfortunate consequence of our sport, so it is important that we understand them and protect our athletes the best we can so that they can continue to enjoy skiing, snowboarding, school, and life. So let's dive in. A concussion is defined as a bump, blow, or jolt to the head, but does not necessarily need to be a direct hit to the head. Things like body impacts or whiplash can also cause concussions. It is important to remember that loss of consciousness does not occur in most concussions. In fact, the athlete may feel fine directly after the hit and start experiencing symptoms minutes or even hours later. When the head sustains a hit or jolt, the brain can bounce around inside the skull. Normally, the 90 billion neurons in the brain relay signals and communicate through their long axons to control our body. Their spindly structure makes them very fragile, so under impact, neurons will stretch or even tear, causing a disruption in communication, but also a dumping of toxins and neurotransmitters, causing damage to surrounding neurons. Check out the video in the email for an illustration and deeper dive into the science of concussion. Concussions can present in various ways person to person. There are more common symptoms like dizziness, headaches, nausea, and difficulty remembering. And then there are symptoms that people less often associate with concussions, like changes in mood, changes in sleep, sensitivity to light or noise, and changes in vision. It is important to take the time to let your brain heal. Coming back to sport or activity too soon can result in some problematic and serious consequences that we will discuss next. Seeing a medical professional is not only key, but required for our concussion protocol. Your doctor will be able to give you recommendations that might include various types of therapy, nutritional guidelines, or a graduated return to physical activity or school. Be patient with the process and know that just like a broken bone takes time to heal, so does the brain. Before we jump into the protocol, I think it's important to understand the why of it all. You may have heard of second impact syndrome, a tragic phenomenon that can occur when the brain sustains a concussion and receives a second hit to the head shortly after, resulting in brain death. Jake Snakenberg, a student at Grandview High School, took a hit to the head in warm-ups, and when he took the field, took another hit and sadly passed away on the field. We have heard a lot about CTE in the news with pro sports. CTE is brain damage that builds up over time with repeated hits to the head, which is why we are seeing a lot of it in the brains of former NFL or NHL players. Post-concussion syndrome is a phenomenon where symptoms last longer than usual, months or even years past the incident, and can be a result of returning to sport too soon. There are also unintentional consequences of a concussion. Often, an athlete will experience symptoms like blurred vision, changes in depth perception or balance, and if the athlete were to ski down post-concussion instead of going down in the ski patrol sled, they could potentially catch an edge and injure another part of their body. Which brings us finally to the Winter Park Competition Center protocol. The coaches get trained in this protocol every year to be sure that they have it down so that they are prepared in the event of a potential concussion. First and foremost, if a coach suspects a concussion or sees the athlete hit their head, or the athlete reports that they hit their head, they must be removed from play. The coaches cannot diagnose a concussion, and neither can ski patrollers unless they happen to be a medical doctor. When in doubt, we will always take the safe road because of the many potential consequences we just discussed. The athlete is not allowed to ski down and must take the sled. No matter what, there is no exception to this rule. Once the athlete has been brought down to the base in the sled, the coach will report the incident to patrol and to the Winter Park Comp Center office so that they can contact the family and provide the necessary forms for clearance when the athlete is ready to return to sport. Please keep in mind that if the concussion happened off-site, not at Winter Park, it may take the coach a bit longer to report the concussion to the office, so you may not see those forms right away. You can always call the office to request them if you are going to the doctor and need to bring them for the doctor to sign. Per our protocol, the athlete must see a medical professional. This is per Colorado law. Please keep in mind that the doctor should be someone trained in concussion management, and also that the doctor cannot be related to the athlete per the Department of Regulatory Agencies in the state of Colorado. The athlete cannot participate in any comp center related activity until they are cleared by a medical professional. This includes ramping, dryland, airbags, comps, races, training, etc. The doctor must sign the release form that the Winter Park Comp Center office sends you, and that signed form must be filed with the office before the athlete can return. Keep an eye out on symptoms as they can often recycle. This protocol is the same protocol used with every national governing body like USSA, IFSA, USASA, and is required by Colorado state law for the protection of our youth athletes. Check out these resources to learn more about concussion. This year, we have also switched baseline testing software to an app called HitCheck. The app assesses an athlete's cognitive processing and balance when they are healthy, so that if they should sustain a concussion, a doctor can see where the big deficiencies are. This year, we offered the app to athletes in competitive programs. Please note that HitCheck is not a diagnostic tool. If the athlete does a post-concussion test and passes every category, that does not mean that they are out of concussion protocol. They must still follow the steps we went over. The app is simply a tool to help doctors assess the injury should they want to use it. Please contact Stephanie Zavilla, Director of Sports Performance, with any questions. We hope this gave you some insight into our protocol and why we take brain health so seriously. Thanks for taking the time to watch this and have an amazing season.